Hey everybody, good morning from Boise, Idaho. It's Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician. Just wanted to take a few moments here. This one could end up being a 20-30 minute video. Don't know yet because I have some thoughts and some feelings that I'd like to express here. Really to my community that I work and live and play in and everything else. And what triggered this, what brought this on is this past month seems to be the month of what I'm going to go ahead and call conflict. And there's been some conflict between myself and customers and potential customers, and it's just been something else, you know. And so I kind of just wanted to take a moment here and just kind of share what I think and feel, and how things work here in my home slash shop, and what it is that I really do for the community here. So first and foremost, I'm an automotive technician over everything and anything. If you know, from Ferrari to Ford, in the past 18 years now, I've been certified all the way across the board. Those certifications Some of those certifications have ran out. ASE even quit sending me notifications for tests and stuff about a year ago. So, but at one point, I had a mentor in my career say, you get to the point, it's just there's no point in re-upping, and that doesn't mean that I don't continue my education. At this point in my career, I just self-educate. I have enough knowledge and experience and understanding to know where to go to obtain information that you can't even find on the internet when it comes to automotive technology, diagnostics, and repair. So that's one of many assets that you get when working with me. And there's not much that defeats me. Yes, I get my butt kicked on jobs here and there, and I do take on jobs that at this point, it's not that I've never done it before. At this point, if I come across something on that level, it's like I've done something similar to this, or and you'll see some examples of what I'm talking about here in a minute. And so, I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's an ATV, whether it's a Dodge Intrepid. There's a Dodge Chrysler over there, or whether it's a Hustler 72-inch zero-turn radius mower with a V-twin Kohler on it, whether it's a Toyota. And if you watch my videos from BMW to Audi to, you name it, I do it. Now, does every one of my jobs go good? No, they don't. And it's interesting because it's the jobs that go south on me that just stick with me the most over the jobs that don't go south on me. And so I just, it's one thing I'm learning as I worked successfully for myself from home, because I have been pretty successful over the past 7 years in being able to establish working for myself out of my home and being able to take care of my family. And that's the next thing that I'd like to talk about is my family. I don't really have much videos on my YouTube that involve my family, and I was thinking maybe I'm going to change that up here pretty soon, because I do have 4 beautiful babies. I've got 3 boys and a girl, and my babies range from the age of, what is he? He's 16, 18 months now, 18 months on up to 7 years old, and each one of them have their own personalities, and at any given time, I am at home with 2 to 4 babies. On the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, I have all 4 kids here with me. On school days, I have only 2 kids here with me. And here in the next couple of years, that'll change to where I have no kids here with me. And at that point, I will probably transition out of my garage into a commercial shop. But that's a plan for later on down the road. And so ultimately, over the course of the past 7 years of my 18-year career, I have worked from home. And what ultimately started that was the cost of childcare, where we are originally from in Dallas, Texas, is through the roof. And honestly, it's very hard to find good childcare. So as we started having a family, we wanted to keep one parent at home at all times. And that's basically the main reason how I really got started working from home, because my wife is a dog groomer, and she's very good at it. And so she went to work, and my wife enjoys working. She loves working, so she works full time. And I decided, I could stay home. Well, in the beginning, I was only working on the weekends and at nights doing side jobs and stuff. And I was stuck at home with, at that time, we had one kid, actually. And then we had two kids. And I was not happy at all. So that's when I started saying, listen, I can do this stuff from home. I've got the tools. I've got the ability. Let's go to it. And so I did in Garland, Texas. I started working from home. I started doing heavy jobs, pulling cylinder heads and whatnot, and rebuilding timing jobs, and rebuilds and transmission pulls and this and that. And one of the things I learned right off the bat is I am a genius mechanic, a genius technician, but I'm a horrible businessman. And back then, oh man, was I horrible. And so ultimately, that is why I am working from home, is because I have four beautiful babies, and we want to keep one parent at home at all times. And so I am here taking care of them, but I just can't sit on the couch all day. And that has evolved into what I'm doing here. So, what I'm doing here is not traditional auto repair, diagnostics, engineering in any form or fashion, because everything I do here is gauged around my children, actually. And so in the beginning, I learned right off the bat that working flag hours, charging $50 an hour times 3 hours or something like that, just wasn't going to work out for me or anybody that was coming to me for that fact. And so I started charging flat rates, and my flat rates beat the price of any shop. Now, sometimes it only beats the price of a shop by $50. Sometimes, even on big jobs, I can beat a shop price by $1,000 or more. I've literally saved people $1,000 or more. And so I ultimately started doing the flat rate. Well, if you need a starter done wholesale, including taxes, I can pick the starter up for $123.99, and I can do the job for $100 bill cash. And so there you have it, $223 cash money. I'll do all the legwork. I'll go get the starter. I'll do the diagnostics. I'll do this. I'll do that. And then put your starter in, and we'll go down the road. And whereas a shop on this particular starter might say, hey, we'll do it for $500. And so ultimately, that's what I do here. Now, just 1 second, I'm going to have to pause it. I've got a good ear, and I hear a kiddo inside and screaming and hollering. So I'm going to pause it, and we'll pick up from right this point, which is my flat rate and why I charge it and all that other good stuff. All right. And we're back. So flat rate. So yeah, I learned right off the bat, charging a flat rate is just best. It works good for me. And charging that flat rate up front, cash, because I learned that being what's legally known as a independent technician, people can take advantage of me all the time. Actually, more than they could a shop, because I just don't have the legal backing that a shop would have on that level. So cash up front, flat rate, saves you money. Pay. The only upcharge on the parts are the taxes, and that way I don't get stuck with them, and I don't get in trouble either. And so it's that on that level, flat rate with minimal upcharge on parts just to cover taxes. Sometimes if I got to do a bunch of running back and forth or running around to get different parts, I'll charge like $20 gas. I'll be like, well, hey, give me $20 to put in my gas tank, and I'll do all the legwork and stuff. But I mean, honestly, as far as labor and money goes here at my home shop or whatever, if you're willing to give me the time and leave me alone and just let me work, a lot of times I'm willing to give you the money. I really am. I'm pretty stable with my four babies and my wife that also works, and I have family and friends that support me. So unless I'm just starving, I don't really see a need to charge a whole bunch of money. Honestly, I don't. so long as I can work under no pressure, no stress. And 8 times out of 10, I'm really good at finding customers that are happy to, put a few $100s in my pocket up front and say, here you go, Matt, here's my equipment, transportation, whatever it is. Here's, the money that you asked for. I appreciate everything that you do, and let's go from there. And I think part of that equation is also communication on my part, because I'm not here to bash anybody. I'm here to communicate with my community, with my YouTube subscribers about this, and so one of my faults coming, and it's been 7 years I've been working for myself here, coming out of a professional shop, working for myself, and then going from flag hours being paid, $25 an hour or $30 an hour or $20 an hour, what have you, depending upon dealership or shop and how busy and stuff, to a flat rate. Time is something that I just, because even if I notice if they're catching a screaming deal and all that other stuff, people are still real big on time. And if I just don't communicate up front, hey, listen, there's no time limit on this stuff, and show them on the contracts, hey, this is a no time limit contract and stuff like that, then a lot of times I get people that get a little pushy. And at that point, I notice I get different types of characters. I'll get the ones that get a little pushy, and I will stand up for myself now, and I will stand up for what I believe in, and I will, as politely and civilized as I can. Sometimes I'm a little hot-headed as an automotive technician. I don't know, maybe it's because I bust my knuckles all the time. Who knows? But I will, tell them, listen, I'm doing a good job for you, so just leave me alone, and I'll call you when it's done. And most times when that happens, I get the job done, and even if they leave a little on edge with me, I get a phone call a month later, and hey, Matt, everything works so great, it's amazing, and hey, yeah, it was a heavy job, but we got through it, and we have a victory, and life is good. And so, or I have people that just break down on me completely, and then I end up breaking down, and then all communication breaks down, and next thing you know, I am rolling their car back out to the street, or their equipment out in the street, telling them come pick it up, or I'm paying for a tow to have it brought back to them because communications have broke down so much, and now we're just yelling and screaming and cursing and threatening each other and this and that and all that other stuff. And so, and again, I think my fault in that is I'm a great craftsman. With these hands, I can build engines and do things amazing. I can do things that most others can't, diagnose things. And I have the proof, in some of my jobs, like my Toyota cylinder head, and just, in my community, unless you want to pay thousands upon thousands of dollars at the dealership, there's not many guys like me that you can go, hey, Matt, can I throw you a $50 or $100 bill and have you, intensely diagnose my car? Yes. Do you even have the tools for that, Matt? Why, yes, I do. And if I don't have the tools, through my connections, my network, my hard work, my relationships, if you see where I'm going here, I have people that have been in this business for 50, 60 years, and they themselves own $250,000 worth of tools and equipment. So if I don't have something here, then all I have to do is pick up the phone, and worst case scenario, wait a few days, and next thing you know, instead of spending $3,000 or $4,000 on a special tool to time a Maserati, literally, so I have some of these special tools. I have a special BMW tool here, and a special Audi tool here, and a special Porsche tool here. That I've, bottom line is I call somebody up and go, hey, this is what I'm at, this is what I'm doing, and they say, yeah, give me a couple days, or come and get it now, or whatever. And so from there, I really do think my fault in it is saying, well, give me 2 weeks, or give me 3 weeks, or instead of just saying, look, I'll be done when I'm done, and just leave it at that. So I'm definitely going to be working on that. But at the same time, for what I do, the knowledge I have, the expertise I have, and like you just heard me talk about, some of the connections I have, I do charge a little bit more than the average, what people would call a backyard mechanic, even though we are actually known as independent technicians and we should represent ourselves as such. Because, here at my house, I have a lot more as far as tools and equipment goes than the average Joe, and have the ability to break engines completely down and rebuild them right here and all that other stuff. So, I do charge for that. What is my overhead? My overhead is my education, my knowledge, because that's ongoing. That's always ongoing. I'm not paying hundreds upon hundreds of dollars for certifications, but I'm a member of the Independent Automotive Technicians Network. I have a few computer programs that definitely help me provide you a better service. I have tools that help me provide you a better service, and all this stuff has to be kept up and up to date in order to be able to service today's and yesterday's equipment accordingly. And I'm just by nature, honestly, the type of person that's not going to do it any different. I'm not going to cut corners. If I have to spend a full day reading a book in order to understand the piece of equipment that is in front of me, and I have to read that book word for word, and then have to go back over the next day and read it again because I feel like I need to memorize it, well, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. That is the type of brain I have. That is why I'm so good at automotive engineering, automotive technology, diagnostics, repairs, rebuilds, is because of that aptitude right there. And how tedious I am, the ability to hyper-focus on things and get it done. So my big fault is really, I think, telling people, I'll be done in a few weeks because a few weeks goes by and then I notice they start bugging me, and actually instead of being done in a few weeks, I'm only halfway done, and I'm at a point to where I'm timing cams and installing lifters and doing precision type work on some of these engines, and I'm being bugged. And communication starts breaking down, and things start getting stressed out. So the next question I think would be, the first thing I cover there is I think I'm a little at fault there with the communication, and I'm going to work on that. From now on, I'm just going to be up front and say, listen, I don't have a time frame. I'm going to start it on this time, on this date, and I'll start giving you updates here in a few days, and we'll go from there. So yeah, I'm going to get better at that because, again, if you come to me and you allow me to work on your equipment or your transportation, you will save money. It may be $10, it may be $50, it may be $500, maybe $1,000. But if you got a good attitude, you're a little open-minded and accepting and all those other good things, and patient and kind and all that other stuff, there's no reason why worst case scenario, if it turns out to be some big major job, we can't sit down over a cup of coffee and work the numbers out. And that's a luxury that I have here in my garage, since my only overhead is myself and my wife and 4 kids. So the next question would probably be, well, Matt, how come you don't make the deadlines? Well, give me just a little bit and I'll explain why. I need to pause this video again and I need to go check on the kiddos. Okay, folks, I'm back. And now that we've talked a little bit about who I am, what I do, my thoughts and feelings, and all that other good stuff, I want to take you in behind the scenes and show you again what it is I do. Let me use some of my jobs here as an example. So this Chrysler job got a little stressful about 2 weeks ago when we had gone over the time limit on it. Now, if you watch the videos, I broke this engine completely down. Aside, what I didn't take apart were the heads and stuff. But I mean, yeah, we took the timing completely apart, took the cams out, replaced all the timing gears, top and bottom, tensioners, guide rails, chains, water pump. Did all that, and then also we had to replace the condenser, and we had to replace the cooler. And while we were at it, we went ahead and put in new spark plugs. And so, big job. Now, a job like this has a mass amount of liability on the table, right? Because it is an interference engine. I open the engine up, and I messed with the timing on it. And so it doesn't matter how good you are, how much you know. Bottom line is there's a probability of a chance of events taking place, whether it be to human error or what is it or what have you, on a job like this, that someone like me could stick the key in the engine in the first 30 seconds, this engine completely eat itself up. The valves on it would bend completely, and you would have a job that cost $800 to $1,000 here in my garage, now costing, $3,000 or $4,000. And so, yeah, that's, I try to avoid that as best I can. And when I do a job like this, it's not like I just sit out here for 8 hours and I'm just working on this car. Remember, I have children, 4 children to feed. And so, wow, I almost tripped over this mattress behind me here. So, I have 4 children to feed. And so because I don't charge a whole lot of money, and just through my knowledge and experience, a job like this is something that if I need to get parts for, sometimes what I'll do is I'll schedule those parts to be shipped in, because shipping takes 3 to 10 business days. And while those parts and pieces, and while I'm working on piecing together stuff on this job and waiting for stuff to come in or spend time in front of the computer shopping for stuff, I'll accept a more simpler job, okay? And now this is a pretty simple job. It just needs some bushings, which are a couple bolts back behind there. And I need to change the thermostat. That's something I can do in a couple hours. And some people are going to go, a few hours to do that? Yes. Remember, I have children, and I'll take you behind the scenes here in just a minute. So even this Yamaha here, this Bear Tracker, this is being done at a phenomenal price, and everything's being redone from the head to the timing, as you can see. And in order to get some of these prices, I've had to go overseas, straight to China, to get some of this stuff. And this stuff has taken as much as, 4 to 10 weeks to get through customs and everything else, get out of China, get into the States, get through customs and all that other stuff. And a lot of times I have good customers, like my Chrysler customer, like my Yamaha customer. Eight times out of 10, I have good customers that understand I'm saving money and I'm getting an amazing technician with a lot of expertise, knowledge, and abilities. So most people normally just give me money and say, here you go, Matt, fix it. And after that, they normally don't come back because their vehicle's fixed and they don't need to. What ends up happening is I then end up working for their mother and their brother and their sisters and all that other good stuff. So, and then, there's other things. And so, take this mower, for example. In a lot of ways, this thing has been here a lot longer than I want it to be here. But with the way I work and the way everything goes, there's just no other way around it, period. And so I'm very, very happy with the job. I know the job is going to go very well. And, my goal for this job is to make sure that this gentleman doesn't have to spend any money on this mower for, believe it or not, years to come. I mean, yeah, he's going to have to change the oil, change the spark plugs, maybe change a coil. But as far as any major service, he should be good for years and years to come because this engine was rebuilt with a fine-tooth comb. Now, how do I do it? Well, I have children that I have to watch. And again, if the beginning of the video explained all that. So 9 times out of 10, regardless of weather, regardless of anything, I say regardless of weather, if it's just wet out here, I don't come out here to work. So, 9 times out of 10, the situation is, believe it or not, 20 minutes outside, 10 minutes inside. And that's just to handle the kids. So in other words, I come out here for 20, 30 minutes at a time, and I'll do actual labor. I'll turn wrenches, and I'll do labor, and I piece my labor out, and then from there, just 1 second, my neighbor's. It looks like my mailman. Oh, look at that! Some engine parts that I've been waiting on for a Toyota came in. Woohoo! Okay, so yeah, 9 times out of 10, I'm good to get a good 20, 30 minutes at a time. And then I really need to, regardless of what I'm doing, go inside for 10 or 15 minutes and check on the kids. And so I'll show you how this works out. So, I normally come out here and I work, and I get everything set up to work, tools and all that other stuff, and then I start working, and let's say I get to an area I'm not too sure about, or I just need to make sure I'm doing everything according to factory specs. I then put my tools down, and I try to kill two birds with one stone here. And you guys have to forgive the house now. Remember, and see, there's another piece of evidence to show you things go a little bit differently here. It's not uncommon to see a pile of diapers because, again, my wife works full-time, and I am blessed enough to be able to work full-time from home. So I'm the one changing the diapers, and I'm the one making sure the house stays clean and stable. So I will come inside here. It's quiet. Welcome to my home, everybody. It's quiet in here. You can see evidence of these guys. And there's one of them. So I'll come in here about every 20, 30 minutes throughout a work day, and I'll make sure that these guys are secure and that they're safe. If you notice, I don't have very many chairs in my home. That's because I have a baby that knows how to stand on chairs and can get hurt. And I do have to go outside and work to make money. And so, yeah, this guy's asleep. And so, I'll check the house. And then I'll come here. And I have my computer in the corner here. And as you can see, actually, I'm working on my mower now. I have some different screens up. And I have PDF factory information and diagrams. Okay. There's my governor adjustment. Okay. And so I'll come in here and I'll use my computer. Today's technology and modern engines, you have to follow factory procedures. And sometimes I may spend 2 or 3 hours at a time reading this stuff and understanding it. And, even if I already know it, yes, I still use factory procedure and I read factory procedure and I self-educate on factory procedure. And, like right now I'm working on the governor adjustment on the mower. Okay. And so, as I'm in here spending time reading and making sure that I'm providing you with factory information, factory service, and all that other good stuff, following multiple diagrams, and going through each process. At the same time that I am doing this, I am also parenting. And that's what it boils down to, is I'm parenting. And when it comes to parenting, sometimes you just have to parent and other things have to wait. And that is why we're home. Well, look at them, they're both asleep. This guy's asleep because he stayed up all night playing games. Hey, Bubba. Love you, man. So, folks, that's what I got going on here. And I think I need to get better at just telling people, listen, I'll do it for this price. However, I have 4 kids, and I have to stop about every 20, 30 minutes throughout a workday in order to get things done. And I think if I can communicate that better to people, then things would go much more smooth for me from that point. So folks, I really appreciate you watching my video. Shoot me your thoughts. Try to be kind, please, if you can. I just want to be able to serve my community the best I can, all the while raising my 4 babies. One thing you can be rest assured is if you have me work on your vehicle, the money, the cash that you give me goes directly to the mouths of babes. Trust me, my family is very well taken care of, and that is why we greatly appreciate the community here, and that is why I appreciate serving you as Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician. Once again, thank you for taking the time to check my video out and listen to my thoughts and feelings. All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to try to get back to work here now that all the kids are asleep. I should be able to get a couple of good hours in. So here we go.